Need money for your business? Well, these are easy grants that you can apply for. Grants for the month of November. So this month, we have many grants, from grants for everyone, to Kickstarter grants, to district grants, to $25,000 in grants, and grants in many states. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Rinde from AskRinde. Welcome. Please subscribe to the #1 community for real estate, income, grants, and credit. If you'd like to know what these new grants are, those that are expiring and need to apply now, make sure you watch the video to the end and leave a comment below if you need help with anything. So we're going to be sharing with you new grants every month. From work from home grants, to SBA grants, to small business grants, to self-employed grants, to fast grants, to financial assistance grants, to startup grants, and much more. And we're going to be updating our calendar section on my website, AskRinde.com, where you can download November's grants list. And you can view our calendar section for the latest updates on grants. Also, our Grants Masterclass and our AI Grants Guide is now available at my website, AskRinde.com. So if you'd like to learn how to get income coming into your business through the form of grants consistently, and how to actually properly position your business, how to get a proper business plan, how to properly structure your business so that you can actually move forward in getting all the funding and access to capital available for your business, make sure you connect with us by going to my website at AskRinde.com, clicking on grants, and getting started today. #1, New York, Buffalo, $7,500 to $25,000 in grants. So the city of Buffalo recently launched a new grant program for small businesses in that location, and they've allocated about $3.5 million in ARPA funds and set them aside to assist small businesses in their 9 council districts. So this grant is actually going to be including not only money, but it's also going to be including technical assistance, mentorship, and overall support for entrepreneurs in that location. And the funds and the grants are a combination of grants, loans, as well as technical assistance. Now these are actually revenue-based grants. So as I've shared here many times on my channel, similar to other grant programs all around the country, they're based on actually what the company produced as revenue. So they actually have tiers for the grants, from $7,500 to $12,500, all the way up to $25,000 in grants. So there are 3 grant tiers you can apply for. For $7,500 in grants, your revenue must be between $35,000 up to $150,000. For the $12,500 in grants, your revenue must be between $150,000 and $500,000. And for the $25,000 in grants, your revenue must be between $500,000 and $1.5 million on an annual basis. And to qualify to apply for the $7,500 to $25,000 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. #1, you must live in Buffalo. #2, your business must be located in Buffalo. #3, you must be a for-profit business. #4, you must provide a workout plan. They actually want to see what you're going to be doing with the funds, and they want to see a workout plan. They want to see that you actually have your plan of how to use the money. #5, you must be located in one of their 9 council districts. And finally, #6, you must have 50 employees or less. Now your revenues are going to be based on gross revenue receipts from 2021 to 2022. And the grant program is being administered by the NDC, which is now called Grow America. So if you're located in one of Buffalo's 9 council districts, you can actually apply for the $7,500 to $25,000 in grants. So if you'd like to apply for these grants, you can actually go directly to their website at ndc.smaply.io. #2, Washington, Redmond, $5,000 in grants. So the city in Redmond is partnering up to administer the 4th round of their grant program. So they've actually allocated about $500,000 in ARPA funds and set it aside for small businesses. And they're distributing funding for small businesses and offering relief grants to entrepreneurs as well as for-profit businesses. Now this entire grant process is actually going to be done through a lottery process. So in order for them to actually discover and field out who they're going to be giving the grant to, they're going through a lottery process for this particular grant. And in order to qualify and to apply for this $5,000 in grants, your business must meet the following criteria. So for this grant, you're going to need to have a UEI number, formerly DUNS number. They actually require that for this particular grant in order to qualify and apply for the grant. #2, you must have revenues of $12,000 or more for this particular grant. #3, you must have 10 or less employees. And finally, #4, you must be located in zip code 98052. So this is actually location specific for this particular grant. They're actually focusing specifically on businesses located in Redmond in order to actually give them the $5,000 in grants. So the deadline to apply for this $5,000 in grants is November 13th, and they're going to be dispersing the grant funds on December 1st. So this is actually a quick turnaround They're going to decide, and they're also going to disperse in less than 30 days on this particular grant. So if you'd like to get more information and apply for this grant, you can actually go directly to their website at oneredmond.org/grants. Number 3, the Stacy Rise Project, $25,000 in grants. So Stacy Rise is back at it once again with their $25,000 grant program. Now, we've covered this grant here several times on my channel extensively over the last several years. So Stacy Peterchip actually established the Stacy Rise Project several years ago, and we've been covering them since their inception. And this grant program is specifically designed and set up to actually help women with gap funding. So there are women who actually have looked to actually get access to capital and look to get access to funding for their businesses, and they find themselves struggling to actually fill those gaps where they really need it, and crucially turning their businesses up. So for this particular grant program, they're focusing on 10 women-owned businesses, specifically women-owned businesses in the food and beverage sector. So this is actually specifically meant for entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs that are in the food and beverage sector. They're going to be giving them $25,000 in grants. And for this particular grant program, the application process is actually going to go through a committee. So they actually have a committee that's going to be fielding the applications as well as reviewing who qualifies for this $25,000 in grants. So to qualify and to apply for this $25,000 in grants, your business must meet the following criteria. Number 1, you must be a woman-owned business in a for-profit operation. Number 2, you must actually sell consumer packaged goods. Number 3, your business must actually have annual revenues between $25,000 and $1 million on an annual basis. Number 4, you must participate in a 16-week mentorship program. And finally, number 5, you must not be a part of currently an accelerator. So some businesses actually participate in accelerators, and they're currently part of those accelerators. In order to actually apply for this grant, you cannot be a part of any accelerator currently. So the $25,000 grant is currently being administered by Hello Alice, and the deadline to apply for this $25,000 in grants is December 1st. Now the winners will actually be announced in March of 2024. So they're giving us about a 4-month gap. And so if your needs are more short-term, you might want to take that into consideration. This is actually still short-term, as some grants actually extend further. But this is actually things that you need to know regarding when you apply for grants. How long will it take for them to not only announce the winners, but when you get the money and you're awarded the grant, the disbursement. So if you'd like to get more information and apply for this grant, you can actually go directly to the website at helloalice.com/grants/Stacy Rise. Number 4, the Verizon Digital Capital Ready Grant, $10,000 in grants. So Verizon is back at it again with their annual grant program, the Verizon Digital Capital Ready Grant. So they've set aside about $1 million in funding for this grant, and the goal is actually to help entrepreneurs. Not only help them with the grant and the money, but also help them with technical assistance. Also help them to be able to open up their mindset as to how they conduct their business and the things that they need to know in order to make their business more seamless, utilizing technology, utilizing services that can actually help shore up their businesses. So one of the things I like about this grant is that they make you think. Now, we applied for this grant, and part of the process of applying for the grant is fairly seamless. All you have to do is actually register for free on their website, and then you can actually start the process by participating in either 2 of their courses or 2 of their coaching modules that they have attached to the program. And it's free, but it's very informative. It helps you to think outside the box. It helps you to actually allocate where you feel like you can actually put more strength in your business, and also what you can actually take on as far as partnerships or employees, people that you actually need that are crucial that can actually help your business grow. So that's one of the things that we like about it. And every time we actually have the opportunity, our company also applies for this grant because it's free money that we don't have to pay back. And as part of the application, for example, they actually make you take quizzes on entrepreneurship as well as marketing to open up your mindset and open up your horizon into what you should be doing in your business. So it's a fairly seamless process. After you go through the process of either taking the courses or the coaching, then you'll actually be ready to apply for the grant, and it's actually a quick application process. Specifically, if you actually have everything set up like we normally have and we normally teach you guys to do. Get yourself in a place where you can actually rinse and repeat and apply for grants consistently by having everything in one place so that you can actually just pull from it either on your computer or pull from it in your office and actually disseminate and apply for the grant. We apply for grants every single Monday, and there's a process. And sometimes our business does 6 figures on a monthly basis. Sometimes our business does more or less. But we actually apply for grants no matter what. And that's something that we want to actually encourage you guys to do as entrepreneurs because it's free money that you don't have to pay back. So to apply for this grant and to qualify for it is fairly simple. All you have to do is actually be a for-profit business. And also you need to be actually located in the US because it's actually a US based grant. So any small business can apply for this grant. And finally, there's no Verizon commitment needed. So you don't have to be a Verizon customer in order to apply for the grant. This is actually literally for all small businesses to apply for. And the deadline to apply for this $10,000 in grants is December 20th. So you can get more information and apply for this grant, and I highly encourage you to do so as soon as possible at digitalready.verizonwireless.com. Number 5, Massachusetts, New Bedford, up to $10,000 in grants. So New Bedford recently announced a new Kickstarter grant program, and these are up to $10,000 for small businesses and entrepreneurs in that location. Now the New Bedford EDC, Economic Development Corporation, launched this new grant program through the SBA Community Navigator program, which is actually a program that I highly encourage all small business entrepreneurs to actually get involved in and also tap into, because they actually have access to grant programs as well as resources and also funding sources for your business, and they're actually a good resource. In our resource area at AskRinde, we've actually included funding sources, money sources, as well as grant sources. And it's important to actually be tapped into sources for your business so that you're not just doing things one time, but you're tapped into a source that you can repeatedly get either money from or also information as well as resources, which is what we are. We want to actually be a resource to you so that you don't have to go looking for it or try to figure out where everything is. That's why we included all those things in our resource area. So the grant program is called the NB100 Kickstarter Grant, and they're actually going to be focusing on 100 entrepreneurs. And as a part of this process, it is actually a 3-part process in applying for this grant for up to $10,000. So the first part would be they actually want you to complete a technical assistance program with one of their spoke partners. So they've assigned organizations and entities that they consider spoke partners that are the filtering process for entrepreneurs to go through in order for them to actually apply for their grant. And you must first go through that process in order to get to the place where you can actually start the grant application process and apply for the grant. So what will happen is that as you start the process, you're first going to meet with one of their spoke partners who will then interview you and go through a process with you. After that, they're actually going to consider your eligibility. They're going to see whether or not you're eligible to apply for the grant. And finally, they're actually going to be looking at your geographical location. They want to see where you're located, and they want to see if the grant will actually be really more apropos for you as opposed to another entity. And this is part of their consideration for this up to $10,000 in grants. So once they've checked your demographics and your eligibility, they actually use an online platform called Submittable, and that's what you'll be using to apply for the grant. Now, to actually qualify for the grant, you must meet the following criteria. Number 1, you must be a for-profit business. Number 2, you must have been in business for at least 24 months. And finally, number 3, you must be based in New Bedford. So if you'd like to get more information on this grant and apply for up to $10,000 in grants, you can actually go directly to their website at nbedc.org. Number 6, Kentucky, the NKY Small Business Grant, $1,000 to up to $10,000 in grants. So the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce and the Duke Energy Foundation is partnering up once again to actually administer grants to small businesses in that location. So they've allocated about $75,000 from the Duke Energy Foundation in order to administer this grant program. And the focus and the goal is to actually help shore up and support small businesses that actually support the community. Now, this grant program is specifically focusing on minority, women-owned, as well as veteran-owned businesses for this $1,000 to $10,000 in grant. And to qualify and to apply for this grant, you actually must meet one of the following criteria. Number 1, your business must be minority, women-owned, or veteran-owned. Number 2, you must be 51% minority-owned. And finally, number 3, you must be a Duke Energy customer. Now, to date, over 260 businesses have applied for this $1,000 to $10,000 in grants, and 32 businesses have actually received the grant from Duke Energy Foundation. And the deadline to apply for this $1,000 to $10,000 in grants is October 31st. And you can get more information and apply for this grant by going directly to their website at nkychamber.com/SB grant. Number 7, Detroit, the Metro Detroit Black Business Alliance Grant, $2,500 in grants. So the MDBBA, the Metro Detroit Black Business Alliance, is administering a new grant program. They've actually allocated about $1 million in grants that's coming from Prudential, and they're focusing on disseminating these grants to 200 businesses locally in Detroit. Now, the goal of this grant program is to actually promote greater financial literacy as well as greater financial security for entrepreneurs in the Detroit area. Now, as part of this grant process, they're actually not going to give the $2,500 in cash to the entrepreneur. Instead, they're going to invest the $2,500 in investment accounts on the Stackwell platform. So Stackwell is actually a fintech company, and they are part of this entire process, along with Prudential, in helping these small business entrepreneurs get a head start in investing and also starting to actually gain results in financial literacy, as well as impacting their financial bottom line as well as their business resources. And by doing this, they're actually going to be able to be in position to help the Detroit business community grow from small to mid-size to large. And to qualify to apply for this $2,500 in grants, you must meet or fit the following criteria. Number one, the grant program is open to all races. So this is actually not segmented to just one race. Anyone can actually apply for the grant if you fit the criteria. Number two, you must be an active member of the NDBBA to actually apply for the grant. Number three, you must be a for-profit business located in Detroit. And finally, number four, you must participate in at least 2 Prudential seminars. So Prudential actually has seminars that are attached as part of the criteria for this grant, and you actually must attend 2 of their seminars in order to apply for this grant. So the deadline to apply for this $2,500 in grants is November 17th, and you can get more information and apply for this grant by going directly to the NDBBA's website at ndbba.com or the link that we've included below. So these are just a few of the new grants for the month of November. We couldn't include all the grants as we try not to keep the videos too long. If you'd like us to cover your city and state, make sure you drop your city and state in the comment section below so we can make sure that we cover you. Also, our Grants Masterclass is still currently open. So we're accepting people into the class from all around the country. This actually has been a game changer to many entrepreneurs in helping them to understand the formula for grant and helping them to understand how they can actually get grants coming in consistently into their business and not just have a feast or famine going through their business. Many entrepreneurs face this same thing, and I know I have over the years in going through different business cycles. I've seen times where there was a lot of surplus in my business, and then there were other times where it was just really a struggle. And sometimes that meant not only changing my customer, my target, but also getting a stream, getting funding coming in that would help me bridge that time, that season. Sometimes you're actually working towards getting a new product launch or getting yourself set up with a new service, and you just need a little gap period in order to basically take you over. Grants can actually be a great resource, specifically if you know how to get them consistently. You're actually going to be in a different position because you can actually go out and get the money at will. You know what it takes in order to actually apply for and receive the grants, and you know actually how to move your business around. So this is what we teach you in the Grants Masterclass. We have entrepreneurs from all around the country in that masterclass in a part of our community at AskRinde, and we highly encourage you to actually get involved. We help you with not only learning how to get sales for your business, but also understanding how to market your business properly, how to actually grow your business through marketing, and also how to actually raise money for your business in addition to getting grants for your business. So make sure you check out our Grants Masterclass by going to my website at AskRinde.com, clicking on grants, and getting started today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You can also email me anytime. My email address is AskRindeNetwork@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.